To answer the question on everyone's minds on where this new F1 movie falls in between the scale of racing movies when we're judging based on Ford versus Ferrari and Talladega Nights, I would put it somewhere around here. And now, this isn't a scale talking about how good or bad this movie's gonna be. If we did that, then I'd put Gran Turismo on the other end. This is mainly a scale based on how goofy a racing movie is. I mean, you can't see it now, but all the way in that far off corner, there's where Herbie is. Because when we're talking about this movie, it can get a little bit nuts at times. Just take, for example, our main character over here, Brad Pitt playing Sonny Hayes. This driver, that's not an ordinary driver. This guy's practically a mythical journeyman of sorts. He can jump into any racing competition, any contest, and win it for whatever team he's a part of. And not only that, he's gonna boost the morale, the production, everything on that team tenfold. He's like that wise wizard character that just jumps into a party, does everything, and then just leaves by the end. Like, to be completely honest, the feats that this man pulls in this movie constantly are nothing short than miracles. At every single turn, this guy's not just one step ahead, this guy's 30 steps ahead of everyone inside of F1. And it just makes me think that if he intentionally did this in real life, he would be bombarded with so many penalties and stuff right away that everything that he does in this movie would just be cut off right then and there. It's kind of crazy when you're looking at that side of things. This is a movie that once more hypes up the idea, the guy that is Brad Pitt. The cool factor just kicks in. I mean, when you look at this Jeremy Bruckheimer production and take a look at who the director is, it all starts to make sense. This is Joseph Kosinski, the guy that made previous things like Top Gun Maverick. And that is actually pretty big to actually mention here because this movie follows the same exact rubric. You got this older guy that comes back from the past. People don't really respect him too much, but he's here to teach the young ones. The guys, the team, everyone that is too fresh, he is there to kind of motivate them and put them on the right track, which is exactly what these two movies have done. While of course highlighting just what makes these legendary actors so cool, which of course it means that it's undeniable that you're gonna feel some sort of sensation when you're watching these cars just go at blazing speeds. The races, for the most part, are very intriguing. You're gonna be entertained pretty much the entire time that they get behind the wheel. And that is probably one of the most important things, if not the most important thing, when it comes to a racing movie, period. It doesn't matter if it's a NASCAR movie, Formula One, drag racing, Gran Turismo, whatever the hell you call it. The cars need to feel fast, and it does feel fast in this film. Now, to give the movie some credit, it doesn't feel like a complete power fantasy when it comes to these characters because they're actually given more realistic stakes. You gotta win one race. You're not winning the entire tour, you're not winning anything that's going on right now, just a single race. Which, compared to other movies where there's underdogs trying to win an entire competition, this feels more realistic. I mean, hey, just try for one. I thought that was a pretty interesting way to put it, and they don't always glamorize just how good of a driver Brad Pitt's Sonny Hayes is. He's a guy that occasionally does mess up, and especially when he just begins to come back into the driver's seat, he messes up quite a bit. So at least they don't make him just this guy that magically attunes to the car and automatically knows how to go fast. Now let's talk about the performances in this film too, because since it's a movie about guys racing cars, you gotta like the guys. Sonny Hayes is just this guy that has charm exuding out of him at every second, but I'll get to something dumb that they start to do with him later on with this. The second villain on this is Damson Idris, playing Joshua Pierce, this hotshot rookie guy. Of course, he fits all of those cliches when it comes to exactly who he's supposed to be. At first you don't like him, then you start to like him, and then you absolutely detest him, and then you like him again by the end of the movie. In a movie where every character is just as predictable as you can imagine them to be, I feel like he gave maybe a little bit more than some other people. Because in comparison, someone that wasn't given too much to do was probably Javier Bardem. I mean, the only thing that this guy really does is just act worried and then say how much they want to win. I feel like they really butchered his character over here. I mean, Javier Bardem is an excellent actor, and I know that he can just do amazing roles, but he wasn't given too much to work with over here. I mean, they could have easily built up on his relationship with Sonny Hayes. I mean, their friendship when they were coming up in F1 in the beginning, but that really isn't tackled too much. They don't go in depth with any of that stuff. These characters are as surface level as you really get. This movie is very ordinary, very by the book, very formulaic. It's not gonna change anyone's opinions about F1 in general, if they haven't already seen the sport, in my opinion. It's a fun thrill ride that might be a little bit too long. I say that because there's 9 races in this film, and just going based on how in-depth each race was, at one point I was basically saying to myself, I don't know how they're gonna fill the rest of this movie with more races. There's only so many gimmicks that Sonny Hayes has in his playbook that you get to see happen again and again and again. And when it comes to something like the story department, the movie did something really annoying when it came to it, because at one point there's this huge event that happens that causes everyone to really turn their backs on Sonny as a character. And no matter what the movie did, it just feel like they were just doing it in a really stupid way, because at no point did Brad Pitt's character really seem like that big of an asshole. I gotta be completely honest about that. They would keep repeating it over and over and over again, but I feel like if that's the characterization and that's the vibe that everyone catches from him, they didn't do the best job of that. Everyone practically adored that man every single time he came up on screen. So when the movie tried to convince us otherwise, it kind of fell flat. Maybe there is a problem with Brad Pitt having so much charisma, but who knows? A little spoiler alert right here. I would have been so pissed off with this movie if they didn't let Sonny Hayes win. Like, legitimately, that would have irritated the hell out of me, and I would have rated this probably a bit lower. Because this is a guy that absolutely tried his best, got treated like shit the entire time, and would constantly sacrifice himself and his car to let others win. So hey, the way that the movie ended, I'm glad that it ended the way that it did. And Joshua Pierce just coming up over here being the bro that he was supposed to be the entire time, that really rounded things off. So that was a pretty good conclusion. But that's not the only ending, because Sonny Hayes just happens to fuck off by the end of the movie, just going to Mexico to race in the sand. Because, you know, this guy can't just stay in one place. Like, what the hell am I even seeing at that point? That was probably the most cliched part of this entire film, and that just made me a little bit too unreasonably upset. That's why I say that this guy is just mythical. He is a MacGuffin in human form. He comes in and he will do anything that it takes to make that person, that driver, the best driver there is. But essentially, that's that. I'm assuming this movie's gonna make bank in the box office because of just how much it's been promoted. A little bit too much by some people's regards. I mean, this is almost like the U2 incident happening all over again. But hey, as a nice summer flick, I think this works fine. Is it as good as Maverick? Hell no. But I did enjoy the film for just being fun thrills. So with that, I think that rounds off my thoughts on this new F1 movie. If you've seen it, what are your opinions on it? Do you think it's probably one of the best summer movies to come out recently? Or maybe, on the other side, did you want to see another view of the racing scene instead of what we got? Please, let me know down in the comment section below. When it comes to things like F1, I'm not really an avid watcher, so I can't just talk about how accurate the movie was or anything in that regard. But maybe you'll be able to give me some insight down in the comment section below. As always, I was Randy, and I'll be seeing y'all next time. Peace.